万门大学的小伙伴们，大家好，我是兰菲利博士，是莱特研究大学的应用神经科学教授。我们单身的时候应该经历什么？我当时从来没有问这个问题，但是巴布老师就问我这个。他说：“你单身应该做什么？应该经历什么？”我完全不知道，我以为单身的时候要找女朋友，他说并不是，他说你不仅仅要找女朋友，要找自己，要了解自己，而且要去探索各种各样的人、各种各样的朋友，然后去了解他人的同时也了解自己。巴布老师还给我一些挑战，当我跟我的女朋友在一起的时候，他会问我，就是你满意吗？就是这个可以吗？然后我当时会觉得他喜欢我就行，然后他会觉得你决定要结婚了吗？那个时候我会想也不一定，所以我会想其实单身的时候就不仅仅是去找女朋友或者找男朋友，也是为了找自己。接下来我们看巴布老师是如何度过单身时期，也去了解一下他是怎么经历这个很特殊的时间。
Hello, I'm Dr. Bob Wright, Professor of Transformational Leadership and Coaching at the Wright Graduate University for the Realization of Human Potential. And we're here now to talk about what is the job of being single. I want to start out and say I am not an expert on being single in China or really any other country than the United States of America. But I have a great deal of experience being single and having what I consider, personally, to be the best singlehood of anybody I have ever known. It started with me having a great deal of freedom from my parents. When I went to college, my parents didn't get at all upset when I told them I wasn't sure I was going to graduate because I was only going to take courses I wanted to take. Wouldn't you love to have that freedom? That you didn't have to take college courses to get a job, but to learn and to grow about life? Well, even if you are already through college and you have a degree, are you giving yourself the freedom that you could give yourself? I know that in China, singlehood is a serious challenge. And I know it because the last time that I was in China, I spoke with a distinguished gathering of women, probably averaged 55 years old. And one of their main concerns was their daughters who were 30 years old and as yet not married. There are actually terms in Chinese for a woman who is not married at 30 years of age. I can't imagine the pressure of a one-child family with the anxiety of mom, dad, grandma, grandpa. I'm not pretending to make any judgment or statement about other cultures, but I am going to talk about singlehood because I didn't even realize I was single. I didn't think of myself as single until all of my friends started getting married. And suddenly, there I was, unmarried. I hadn't bought a house. I didn't have children. And I started wondering, wow, am I falling behind? And I started to become really anxious about the fact that I was single. But I'm going to go back a little bit before that and talk about how fortunate I had been in coming into my singlehood. For starters, I went to a privileged college. And in addition to that, they had a program in Germany. And my father thought that German was the finest language in the world, given that he's an engineer. He thought that language of engineers was what I should learn. So he was totally behind me studying in Germany. Well, as an American, it blew my mind to realize that the things that I had been raised to think of as absolute were not the same in the rest of the world. That opened me up to starting to discover things that I had never imagined, different values, different ways of being, in very simple and very complex ways. For example, in the United States, I was trained to walk on the outside of a woman. The reason I was told is because if a car splashes in a puddle, the woman doesn't get wet, but I get wet. Very little difference, but in Germany, a man walks on a woman's left side no matter what. And their reason is so that you can grab your sword and protect that woman. Well, I had a girlfriend, my first love, from Brazil. She delighted in walking me into lamp posts. So different were our cultures. So this opened my eyes. And this was a time of turmoil in the United States. And I came back and finished my degree, and then had the good fortune to go and study in France, which blew my mind even further, learning how many different ways and how many valid ways there are of living. Well, if there are so many valid ways of living in different cultures, aren't there valid ways of living wherever you are as a single? But what is it that's the opportunity of being single? Because I'm saying, what's the job of being single here today? The job of being single, well, one of the things is to become independent, to become your own person, is to discover your own values and to learn about life and learn about the world. Singlehood is an opportunity to make mistakes. It's an opportunity to get to know people. It's an opportunity to learn about the opposite sex, which is really critical. In the book that we have coming out in China, November 11th, The Heart of the Fight, I think that I have one of the best marriages of anybody I've ever seen. And you'll learn about it in the book. But I also have one of the best marriages because I had one of the best singlehoods. My wife, on the other hand, got married. She was a straight A student, and she had a boyfriend in college who was handsome and had perfect board scores, and he was brilliant. And she figured that's what she should do, is to get married. Well, she calls it a long 7-year date before they divorced because he didn't want to learn and grow with her. Well, that was a fortunate thing for me because she had a practice round and she could realize that things could have been way worse than they were with me. But that's getting ahead of myself. I had a great deal to learn. I had friends who helped me learn about women, who helped me learn about how to understand women and see what kind of values they had. When Judith and I met, she had done none of the personal development activities that I had done, that I had made my livelihood. But I had learned about what is character. And I had learned about what is a good match. Because when we get married, we're making a bet that this is a great partner for the rest of our lives. Judith didn't fit my pictures in many ways, but I loved her integrity, and I loved her drive and how she went after life. And I knew myself, and one of the things I knew was I needed a woman who was smarter than I was, because I'm pretty domineering and pretty forceful. Judith was not as strong as I was when we got married, but she was smarter. And that meant that she was able to fight with me and get stronger and become a good match. But I find so many singles don't ask this primary question. What is a good match for me? What is going to be nourishing for me? What is going to help me learn and grow? Who is a partner that is going to be able to learn and grow with me, raise our children, support each other in careers, or whatever it is that moves us and we find to be our highest purpose in life. The job of being single? To get to know myself, to get to know the world, to get to know other people, to clarify my values, to be able to read the values of others, to be able to build my network of friends and people who resonate, who are like-minded, who have a similar sense of purpose and meaning, and want more out of life and want to give more to life. Singlehood, huge opportunity, but it's a job that does not get described. I would also say it was an opportunity to grow myself up, but that's a subject for yet another conversation. Thank you very much. Enjoy your singlehood. Get the most out of it. Learn, grow, because this is a time to spread your wings, make mistakes, and go places you never would have gone before.